So, in this clip, we are going to see YouTuber The Amazing Lucas give Charlie Kirk, Piers Morgan, and the panel just a taste of Charlie Kirk's own medicine, doing something that Charlie Kirk was well known for after George Floyd's death. And we're going to see the panel go into a complete and utter meltdown. We're going to see it, and we're going to see the hypocrisy just shine through in each and every single one of them. Now, just to give you guys complete transparency, there's an advert in the middle. So when that comes up, I will skip it, but then we'll resume the video as usual. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts towards the end. Let's watch the clip together.
Titled Charlie Kirk versus Bullet. Can one bullet to the neck outsmart one conservative? Well, that was a short watch. Number 2 is a mocked up promotion poster called Kirk and Twerk at Neck of the Woods and hashtagged both Charlie Kirk and his widow. And the third was an image of a sunrise titled God Works in Mysterious Ways with the hashtag Charlie Kirk killing and praying hands as an emoji. And you're laughing as I show these. Why do you find this funny?
Well, let me just say that I actually am a big advocate for dark humor. And I happen to have gotten a bit of a taste of that over the last, I don't know, maybe decade or so when it came to the right and their memes of George Floyd, happy birthday being sober for 5 years. When they came to their memes of Breonna Taylor, when it came to their memes of Trayvon Martin, the Trayvon challenge, right? When it came to their memes of Tamir Rice. So I don't know what the issue is. I think I'm engaging in the freedom of speech that the right has been advocating for these last 10 years and mocking and making light of Black death, something that Charlie Kirk himself did time and time again. As a matter of fact, I would argue that if Charlie Kirk, instead of focusing his time on Black culture and Black on Black crime, if he had spent a modicum of his time focusing on the white youth, that perhaps he would still be with us today.
Are you pleased he's dead?
No, absolutely not.
So how did you feel about his murder?
I don't think.
How did you feel about his murder?
How do I feel about his murder?
Yeah.
Well, I think a quote by a great author sums up the sentiment of millions of Americans around the world. And that is, some cause happiness wherever they go, others when they go. And I think that's a sentiment that is palpable amongst many Americans around the world due to the hate and vitriol and bile that Charlie Kirk sowed. So I think there was a pastor
just to be clear, unless I misheard you, then you are happy he died.
No, I don't think as far as happiness is an emotion that
you literally just read me a quote which implies you're happy. You talked about some people's death bring happiness.
The purpose of the quote was to say that there are some people who have caused harm and death and turmoil to other groups of people, such as Charlie Kirk, whether it's Black people, whether it's, trans people.
No, I heard the quote.
The list
just to
goes
be
on.
clear, you said that the quote ends in that their death brings happiness, but you've denied that you were happy. But when you tell me a quote
I don't disagree.
When you tell me a quote like that, I presume from that quote you're implying that actually you are happy he died because he deserved it. He had it coming.
No, not at all. I don't think those are ever words that I've ever mentioned verbatim ever. I think there is a sentiment that when someone who lives their life in evil and wickedness, according to the scripture, the power of life and death is in your tongue. And the hate and the vile and the venom that he spewed, I don't know what to tell you. As the scripture says, as he professed, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I think his focus should have been on a community that, clearly is in problem. That I find it interesting that there's more scrutiny on people who may make memes that they've done of George Floyd and other Black victims than on the white male youth that did this tragedy, as some would call it. I think
why would you be offended about the memes to people like George Floyd, which I found contemptible at the time, if they're the same ones that you're talking about? Why would you profess to be offended by those if you're quite happy to do the same kind of thing yourself?
I think the point that I'm making by the means that I'm putting out, which clearly has caused outrage and triggering, I find it a bit hypocritical that the people for years who said fuck your feelings are now overwhelmed with feelings at the moment. But the point that I was making was to point out the hypocrisy that the right has on a variety and myriad of issues, as we just saw with Pam Bondi on the freedom of speech. I think the issue is that they have scapegoated people like Pam Bondi for what is the crime of Donald Trump. The same thing they did with Anthony Fauci. We saw this when it came to the Second Amendment. They banned bump stock ban. They had a bump stock ban under Donald Trump while they were fear-mongering about Biden take away your guns. But as we saw, there was no outrage, there was no protest, and we come to find out that it was unconstitutional. So I think this hypocrisy is ubiquitous within the right, and I think my memes expose that hypocrisy.
And what about your own personal humanity? I mean, hashtagging his widow in a mocked-up promotion poster of Kirk and Twerk at Neck of the Woods. How do you justify targeting... hang on. How do you justify targeting his widow?
I think that's a bit disingenuous to use such hyperbolic language as targeting. I think it's more of a strategic plan of attack to get the message out to more people. When we saw Erica Kirk, she had a moment to speak for unity within the country, left and right, and she chose to fundraise. She then chose to use the scripture and talk, very nicely of her, past husband. And I understand that. But by that same token, there are people who were absolutely harmed by the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk put out. And that rhetoric actually codified in many cases in many states. So I think it's abhorrent and actually perverse to expect people who are harmed by his rhetoric, harmed by someone who had anti-black, anyone who wasn't white and Christian in his perspective. I think it's perverse to try and criticize those people or try and make them seem as if they're the bad guys when that's
but you see, funny enough, I can look at what you've done and I can see somebody who is abhorrent and despicable and actually evil. Actually, the stuff when you target someone's widow as she grieves and tries to protect her two children. I disagree with the word targeting. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me personally. My view of what you've done. I don't care about your motivation in terms of other people's inappropriate memes, many of which I may well agree with you about. But that doesn't mean that I then go and do it myself or worse, because that makes me even more inhuman and abhorrent, and by your definition,
I disagree. I think there's
evil. I know you disagree. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
When it comes to Republicans, when it comes to conservatives,
I know. Hang on.
They have to see.
I've let you have your say.
I think I'm a mirror.
I've let you have your say.
What they have shown.
I'll let you have your say.
And if they don't like what they see, then they should actually detour from their wicked path.
I'm using your own justification to tell you what I think of you and what you've done. All right? That's my free speech at work. Let me bring in Jillian Michaels.
Absolutely agree.
I mean, Jillian, look. I saw Brian there nodding to some of what he was hearing there, not all, to be clear, but nodding to some of it about the hypocrisy which Lucas claims he is exposing with this stuff. What is your view of what he's said?
All right, give me a second, guys. I'm going to get right back into it, okay? Just going to find the spot, and then we go from there. Let's get back into it.
I find this exceptionally sad because, Lucas, you talk about how hurt you were and how offended you were by such despicable things, and then you became the thing that you found the most repulsive, which is alarming, and as I mentioned, deeply saddening. I would be more than happy to litigate some of Charlie's positions for you. I abjectly...
I don't think I need any litigation from a woman who tried to downplay slavery, who tried to all lives matter slavery after she purchased a black child. That's what I would argue. I don't think you need to as far as litigate anything.
Would you like to discuss it? Okay. Because the reality of the situation is that what I gave you, whether you like it or not, is a fact from the 1860 census. And the point is not to downplay slavery.
It is actually a bastardization of actual history. What you cited was inaccurate. You can actually look it up. I don't know if you did. I doubt you do your due diligence. You clearly did not, because in that study that you're citing, in the study that I'm discussing it right now, in the study that you're citing, it takes into account not only the slaves, it takes into account the northern states and the southern states. So to try and implement or to say this all lives matter when it comes to slavery, which is abhorrent and in extreme contradiction to American history, especially in this country as chattel slavery as Black Americans, is abhorrent and perverse, especially you, who is the mother of a Black child, who she purchased.
Right.
Other people
is my
adopt.
Turn to talk?
You purchased.
Is it?
By all means.
How did I? Okay, well, I'm not quite sure what you mean by purchase. She's adopted, and it is illegal to purchase a child.
Did you pay to get that child?
No, I paid the adoption agency
it was
fees
absolutely
to do my
free.
Study.
It was absolutely okay.
I
So
paid
then
the
there was a
adoption
process of
agency
payment.
like you
So then there
paid
was a
to
process
adopt a
of payment.
child.
I
To
believe
an
that other
American
people adopt. You
adoption
purchase.
agency. Okay, you're wrong, and that's defamation.
I'm literally
and it's
right
an
as you're
absolute
saying
lie,
that you
and
paid
it's-
to an adoption
you're
agency.
literally wrong, and it's this
I'm
kind
literally
of hateful.
correct.
You know what you are. You know what you are,
I
Lucas.
think what's
let me
hateful
just
is you
hang on.
downplaying
Let me
slavery.
jump in
That's
here.
what I think is
Let me
hateful.
jump in
I
here,
didn't actually
Lucas.
downplay
Let me jump in
slavery.
here, Lucas.
That's
it seems to
literally
me
what you did.
Seems to me, Lucas, you've decided to be just as offensive as you want to be. You're now attacking people who adopt children, which is one of the most selfless things that any human being could do, actually.
This is literally what
But
the
you-
right did to Dave Rubin, is
Fine,
it not?
Fine, but what you're doing is just trying to be as offensive as possible whilst masquerading under this umbrella of, well, everybody else is offensive, so that's why I'm doing it, to expose
Not
all
at
the
all, and I think
hypocrisy.
if that's
But
what I'm
Jillian
giving
is
off, I
right.
apologize
Jillian is
sincerely.
right.
What
that
I'm merely
actually
trying to
you
do
have descended.
is create
you
a
have,
better
The way
world.
you've
What
just
I'm
gone
trying to
after
do is to
Jillian.
unify
You know what,
people.
Lucas?
The
Stop
only way we
talking.
can unify people
Stop
is for
talking.
people to understand the
Stop
harms that
talking.
they've done.
You have targeted Jillian for adopting a child. That is despicable. Let me bring in Riley
I
Gaines.
targeted Jillian for adopting a black child after she downplayed slavery, which
Right.
I think is contradictory.
Fine. You
Actually,
attacked her for adopting a
adopted
child.
I mean, let's not
14 years
misconstrue
ago.
my words that I'm
So-
saying.
Oh, I heard your words. Let me
Yeah,
bring in.
I
Let me
did
bring
too,
in.
Lucas.
Let me bring in Riley.
You're misinterpreting
Let me
that.
bring in Riley Gaines here.
Sure, buddy.
Riley, you've been waiting patiently.
So, listen, I don't even need to go into too much information in regards to this. I'm just going to give you guys my personal thoughts and my personal feels. Now, would I do what Amazing Lucas chose to do? Only if I was pushed hard enough, I would do that, I think, I'd say first and foremost. But what's ironic to me and what's so interesting is the fact that the Amazing Lucas done the exact same thing Charlie Kirk did. So many people on the right do, making light of violence, making light of Black Death. He's done the exact same thing to them. And look at the meltdown that they're in. Piers Morgan is a grifter. He's a grifter. That's what he's become. He's seen that there's an opportunity to align with the right and monetize it. And anything that he does is going to align and defend the people on the right. Because this is the thing. Nobody actually debunked anything that the Amazing Lucas said. No one actually said, hey, nah, you're incorrect. No one done that. Piers Morgan himself didn't do it. All Piers Morgan done is attack the actions of the Amazing Lucas and tried to do the turn the other cheek BS that the right like to do. That's what he done. But if Piers Morgan really believed what it is that he believed, then why would he have anybody on the panel honoring Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk is the reason why the Amazing Lucas done what it is that he did. Because Charlie Kirk consistently made fun of George Floyd and made fun of Breonna Taylor and made fun of Black Death. He done that. Memes, jokes, laughing about it, making fun of people in Gaza. There's no buildings for them to be able to jump off now. This is what Charlie Kirk did. So these guys have now been given a taste of Charlie Kirk's own medicine, and they are bending over backwards in outrage and so frustrated and annoyed. But why wasn't you frustrated and annoyed when Charlie Kirk was doing it? Why? That's the reason why I believe the Amazing Lucas done what he did. And as far as it went, this is honestly what's needed. The left has been far too passive and nice and kind to the right for far too long. So much to the point where the right are taking advantage of the left. But the moment that somebody on the left actually stands up to these guys, gives them a taste of their own medicine, does what it is to them that they have been doing to the left, look at how it is that they act. And then you've got Jillian Michaels that tries to step in. And the Amazing Lucas gives her a 1-2 combo as well. I'm not trying to take anything off you because you downplayed slavery and you literally have a black child. You should be ashamed of yourself. Your opinion is irrelevant. Honestly, as deep as it was, and as dark humor, if you want to call it, as it was, honestly, people need more of this so that they can learn a lesson. These people need to understand you can't just go out there, say and do whatever it is that you want, But then when it comes back to you, you're now going to try and play the woe is me victim card, which Piers Morgan is trying to do. Because it's embarrassing. Because Piers Morgan never had nothing to say about it when Charlie Kirk was doing it. Did he condemn it? When Donald Trump is telling people to punch people in the face and I'll pay your legal bills, is Piers Morgan condemning that? No, this is the person that Piers Morgan is shilling for on a regular day-to-day basis. The hypocrisy from the right is just so astounding. It's so astounding. And we've seen it from so many of these individuals getting angry because people are downplaying Charlie Kirk's death. But when things happen to people on the left, they don't even acknowledge it, or they make Halloween costumes out of it, or they make memes of it. The right are so embarrassing. And it's only when examples like this, like the amazing Lucas, brings to these people and shoves it in their face that they're going to understand and realize that, hey, guess what? It's not right when we do it, but guess what? It's not right when you do it. And if you're going to condemn us for it, we're only going to start to listen when you condemn yourselves and your side for it. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this clip and understand I'm genuinely open to any of your guys' thoughts. Whether you're on the left and you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments. Because the problem is this, when they go low, we go high, BS, that doesn't work anymore. We've seen how these people are. You can't go high when these people go low. You can't. Because what happens, you've just shown weakness. What's happening right now in the United States of America? What's happened? We've literally just had the government shut down. A deal's been reached. 8 or 6 or 7 Democrats crossed the lines and sided with Republicans. Guess how it looks now to the people? Everyone's calling Democrats weak again. Everybody. Everyone. Donald Trump and the people on the right are saying, hey, guess what? We were willing to hold out and hurt the American people. You can't go high when they go low. Meet them where they are. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Because the reality is this. Charlie Kirk was making fun of George Floyd for years after his death. So am I going to sit here and be angry that the amazing Lucas done it back to him? No, I'm not. No, I am not. What you sow is what you reap. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to get your news your way, click the link in the description below this video to be able to get 40% off ground news. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next clip.